welcome to episode 79 of the Big Red Barrel Geek Speak podcast, your place for all your nerdy needs on BigRedBarel.com.
Who are you? And where's Lauren?
Lauren's being chatted up by a Welsh guy from IGN.
Oh!
Sacre bleu.
Wow!
I'm Coleman.
Coleman, you mean?
Oh, Colewoman. Oh, I like it. I'm identifying with the identity that I should have always had.
Probably.
Good. Yes, I'm filling in for Lauren because Lauren is away at an event hosted by a friend of hers, so that's what she's off doing. Anyway, with me, as always, is what Lauren says, I think, is the Baroness of Butts, our amorous auntie Alex.
The good butt.
There you go. And the newcomer to the show, who I have met once and reminded her that I've met her once before, the jaunty, jubilant Juggernaut Joe.
Hello!
Wow, these names are great.
They're alright, aren't they?
I should get one.
Do you know what? I found out, going this Christmas home, I found out that my brother actually listens to this podcast, to my horror. And then his only criticism to me was, your openings are so cheesy.
Yeah, but that's half the fun. That's half the fun, though. You need to just embrace the cheese and just run with it.
I know, that's what I told him. He seemed unconvinced, though.
No, you just got to embrace the cheese. Cheese is good.
See, I found out last year at some point that I think last year marked my 4th or 5th year podcasting, and my dad messaged me one day and he went, "Hey, what's a podcast?" Oh, and okay, it's like a radio show, but it's you download it at your own pace. There's very rarely music on them, and he's like, "Okay, so how do I listen to yours?" And my anus just closed. I folded it in inside myself. So like, no one in my family knows I do this. Apparently, I found out at Christmas, they all do. And a lot of them listen.
Oh.
And haven't told me for years.
Wow.
Crikey.
So there you go. And that was my dad trying to figure out if how to get on it. And he listens to this one as well. He listens to Lauren.
Wow, okay. I'm suddenly more self-conscious than I've ever been before in my life.
You've never met my dad. You've got no reason to be self-conscious about it.
Yeah, but just an idea of proper adults listening to me talk gibberish.
It's weird though, because like my dad and my sister were discussing it, and they said that my dad's basically put it this way: I don't understand the thing you're talking about, but I like the sounds. So there you go. Hey Dad, if you're listening.
Hi, Coleman's dad.
Hello, Coleman's dad.
There we go. Shall we carry on with this show? I believe you do a time waster. I don't want to say I believe you do, because I've done this before. I've hosted before. I've been on the show.
You're like edited about 90% of our shows. You should really know.
I did the majority of them. Okay, so there's a time waster of the week that we're going to talk about, and that is where we waste time doing something. And this week it is something courtesy of Spikeychris.
Ah, good old Chris.
So I'm gonna explain to this. So he sent me a YouTube channel which is hosted by Nerdslayer.
A whole YouTube channel.
I know, right? Like, he packed it all together nice and compact and stuffed it in the envelope and sent
That's
it to me all the way from
listener.
Scotland. It's amazing what technology can do nowadays. Anyway, this is a guy, Nerdslayer, and he does a series which is called Death of a Game, and he's done 5 videos of this now, and he basically talks about various different games and how and why they've died. And the videos are quite lengthy, actually. They're about 40 minutes, and he goes through their history, and he kind of comes up with he justifies why he thinks his games have died, what are the reasons for it, and what has gone wrong. The series that he's done, I haven't actually played any of the games that he's been talking about, so
I have.
Okay. So one of them is Star Wars Galaxies, is the one that I'm actually watching at the moment. There's also Hellgate London, Global Agenda, Warhammer Online, and City of Heroes. Which one have you played?
I played Hellgate London, which I used to play back in Portsmouth, City of Heroes and City of Villains, and also Star Wars Galaxies, which I got along, out of those I got along with City of Villains for about a month, and the rest lasted a lot less than that. So that might be why they died.
Yeah.
I'm not a big MMO person, so.
Well, I found it really interesting. He went through the history of Star Wars Galaxies and how that became, and its development cycle and all the expansions and everything they tried to do to keep the environment going. And then he's going into actual details of why that game died. I think it's very well researched. My only nitpick, now this is a funny one, because you asked me a couple of months ago and I would not have noticed, but it's his audio?
Yeah, mine's the audio and the editing, and the fidelity of the videos used.
So there's a bit of a quality control issue.
Well, it would be hard because, like, a lot of these games, they died some time ago, and you wouldn't be able, because they're an MMO, they're an online-based based thing. You'd have to log in and play this game. So that's not possible to do. Go in and get a nice shiny Elgato HD or something and capture some lovely, tasty, crispy images. So now you've got to depend on ripping that video from somewhere else, or looking in the archives of a website. Just trying different methods to find that stuff. So I appreciate why the videos don't particularly look that great, but yeah, it's a little bit off-putting to watch. And as you say, the audio as well. There's a lot of lip smacking and really weird editings at a time. Like there's a point where he seems to have edited any kind of gaps in between where he's breathing or something in a sentence, and all of a sudden he just pauses for ages when he's listing off games, and he's just like, and this game, and he's just like, and stop. Or EverQuest 2. And then carries on. I was like, that was a really out of place gap.
I've not watched any of these yet. So is it more that he's doing it just as a voiceover? I assume there's no on camera interviews or anything like that. Okay.
No, it's just him doing it. Yeah. He researches and then he just reads off a script by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Right. But I have to say, they are quite enjoyable. I think they're very well researched. And the thing with me is that I kind of didn't even really watch the videos that much. I looked the first couple of shots to see what the game looks like that he's talking about. And afterwards, I just listened to the audio because they're very much in a podcast format. To me, is that you don't necessarily have to watch it. He explains it well enough that you understand it without having to see it, but the audio does annoy me slightly. And again, I probably would not have noticed.
Well, it's enjoyable. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to butt in. I'm doing a Tim on you. Sorry.
Someone has to bring him in. No, I was just going to say, if I haven't been doing editing myself, I probably not noticed, or it wouldn't have bothered me as much. That is not to say that Geek Speak audio that I edit is absolutely perfect. It's not, but it just makes you notice the details now that you start doing it yourself and trying to improve it.
Yeah, I mean, the point I was going to make, was 8 videos on his channel in its entirety, so he's starting out, he's learning. You don't get better unless you make mistakes. You don't just start out and suddenly you're Nerd Cubed, you're Unseen 64 or any of these guys. You've got to keep cracking on at it.
I guess that's the beauty of where we are now in terms of technology and YouTube and things like that, is that people can do this. There's no barrier to having a go and kind of learning how to do these things. When I was training, because I'm a video editor by trade, that's what I do for a job.
Ooh.
When I was doing all my study and doing my degree in it, it was you couldn't do that. There wasn't the option to go home and do your own thing and learn at your own pace. You had to kind of go and have proper education and training and stuff to learn all the theory and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's really good now that we're kind of in a place where people can pick up an Elgato and a relatively cheap computer and try it out. So good on him for having a go. I mean, it sounds like he knows his stuff, and in terms of the game history and things like that, and that he's kind of doing some good research. So yeah, more of that would be good. Yeah.
That said, if Mr. Nerd Slayer is listening and would like some help with his videos or audio, tap me up, man. Damn it, Coleman on Twitter. I'll let you know.
Oh, bless. No, I think the content is there and the content is great and the execution will get better and it's already at the very listenable / watchable level and we're really just nitpicking.
But that's what we do.
Yes. That's fair enough. He can come back and nitpick at Geek Speak. It's fine. Might help us improve.
We can take it.
Okay, there you go. That's our time waster of the week.
Good. Oh, I'm hosting. I keep forgetting. Sorry.
Yeah, hello.
I keep thinking I'm the guest and I'm the one who's waiting for you to carry it on. Sorry.
Fake Lauren, keep up.
Sorry. Okay, so that's that's Time Waster of the Week, not What We Done Played. That's a different show. So topics on the list, you've numbered them for me as well, Alex, which is very helpful.
Oh, you're welcome.
And even though I want to do Joe's first, you've listed mine first. So I've been watching, I'm surprised Lauren's not spoken about this because we watched it 2 weeks ago, but I went to see The Founder.
What is that and how do you eat it?
Well, you talk about eating. This is a movie kind of biopic from the same guys who made Saving Mr. Banks, which was the Disney type. Well, it's a movie about the woman who wrote the books of Mary Poppins, who had to basically sell the rights to Disney so they could make the movie. And it's funded by Disney. And even though that movie had a lot of historic inaccuracies to it and lots of character inaccuracies and took lots of liberties with lots of different sections of the movie, I actually really, really enjoyed it. It was it's a weird emotional in the same way kind of FX does horror or FX does biopics and crime and all that kind of stuff. It was like that in a movie, and I kind of got along with it very well. And everyone's really enjoyable on there. There's no Jew-hating Walt Disney, screaming rage.
This is good. No, it's not so great.
Everything's kind of frilly and glossed over and pastel colours and stuff. And that's pretty much what The Founder is. The Founder's actually by the guy who's credited as the founder of McDonald's, as we know McDonald's, Ray Kroc. But he's not the initial founder. He takes over. He's a failed salesman. And he comes across the restaurant McDonald's, run by two brothers, the McDonald's, if you will.
Yeah.
He likes their restaurant so much, and they've devised this whole new system because at the time in America, fast food restaurants, they were all drive-thrus. They were all messy. They kind of attracted a teenage crowd of grebos with motorbikes and hot rods and smoking outside and drinking and all that kind of stuff. And it took forever to get served. So these guys had devised a speedy system with the intention of your fast food should be fast food. It shouldn't take 30 minutes. It should take 30 seconds. They described the whole system as they open up a restaurant. It didn't work out. So they started stripping back on things and figuring out how they can change things. And they basically go from this huge menu down to, I think, like 3 or 5 things, which I think is coffee, burger, cheeseburger, I can't even remember that, on a milkshake. And that's it. That's all they sold.
And fries?
They removed the...
Yes?
Oh, sorry, and the fries, you are right. And they removed the drive-through element of it, and it's a walk-up window system instead. And it becomes really successful. So along seeing this, Ray Kroc decides that he wants to help them out and franchise the whole thing. So get out of his bad salesman job and suddenly become this franchise salesman. And he goes over the world, and they've tried it before and it's failed because people add things to they don't care about these restaurants, and they add things to the menu, and they just shut down really quickly, and it ruins the name and it makes them look bad. So he takes it on under his wing, and he starts looking after these franchises popping up, and he expands on it. And what Ray Kroc essentially did in the end, this is how he made his money, is the franchise became famous, it became very successful, but he made barely any money off of it. So he started buying land, which he would then lease to the people that would buy the franchises. So they would buy the business, but they would rent the land from him. And over time, he basically ended up taking over McDonald's in kind of a heavy-handed way. So that's what the movie covers. There's a lot you can read about it itself. I've read a few books about the history of McDonald's for some godforsaken reason. I do not know why.
Yeah, I was going to ask why. I mean, it's fascinating.
Well, my old housemate, he used to buy just consume books, basically, and he'd leave them in the bathroom all the time.
Long poo sessions, right?
Yeah, so I'd be in the bath and I'm like, well, the history of corrupt fast food chains in the US. Yeah, sure, I'll read this. So I'd learn things that way.
It helps to push my bowels, yes.
Oh, nice. I'm never in there long enough to read anything, but that's too much information.
I'm so sorry.
So this movie, though, it's a bit similar to Saving Mr. Banks, but it's not really a happy portrayal. It does the same kind of, it's very pastely, it's very glossed over in some sections. It speeds through a lot of things. There's lots of montages and stuff with blinky plonky music, but it is a very kind of dismal film as well. So you got Michael Keaton, who plays Ray Kroc as the lead character.
Oh, he's great, Michael Keaton.
He's brilliant. You've got John Carroll Lynch and Nick Offerman as the McDonald's brothers. Nick Offerman from Parks and Recreation, who, whenever I see him without a beard or a moustache, I get really freaked out, and this is one of those films. He's clean shaven, it's really weird. You got Linda Cardellini, is that her name?
Oh yeah,
the one from Jurassic Park.
Yeah. She was in ER and Scooby-Doo.
Yep. Took me ages to figure out who the hell she was. She didn't look like her. So, but yeah, it's... it's Laura Dern, sorry. She's the one from
Laura
Jurassic
Dern.
Park.
She's Jurassic Park, yeah.
Yeah, she just doesn't look like Laura Dern. And she has a really thankless role in this film as well. She's just like... She's Ray Kroc's wife at home just waiting for him to come home. And when she does, they just kind of have a pretty bitter relationship. Watch it. It's really good. The Founder. It's one of those Weinstein films and came out just before the Oscars season. Which it seems every year, just before the Oscars come out, they release a weird biopic film, and The Founder is one of those. So.
Yeah, it's because it's Oscar bait, isn't it, that kind of film?
I think it kind of misses this came out on, I think it's premiered in December.
Right.
So does that La La Land hit December as well, didn't it? So
I think the way it works is to be eligible, you have to have been released between like certain date of one year and the certain date of the next year. So I think that would have been eligible for this year's awards, yeah.
Right, okay. That might be why. But I didn't see it mentioned. Well, I didn't watch the Oscars, I only saw the fallout of the hilarity of
My God.
All that
Wow.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't watch the Oscars, so I don't know if it made any kind of dent at all in it.
I don't remember reading it being even up for anything, really.
No, I don't think it has.
Anyway, yeah, check that out. And it's got BJ Novak in it, who Lauren likes because he was in The Office, and I like because his name's BJ. I dropped the thing. There it is. So, Joe.
Yes.
On par with founding McDonald's, you're talking about robots and dinosaurs for some reason. I really want to know why.
Right, okay. So, of course, this week, by the time this podcast comes out, it will be out. But this week, we have the launch of Horizon Zero Dawn, which, of course, is very exciting. Haven't been able to play it yet because it's not out until 2 days from now, from when we're recording. Koobs, our dear friend Koobs, has been playing it already, so we all hate him right now.
God damn it, Koobs!
But it just, again, we're having a lovely resurgence of dinosaur-y type things at the moment, which makes me very happy. Anyone that knows me well knows that I love, love dinosaurs, Godzilla, monster movies, basically anything with a big monster in it, I'm on board. And so we've got Horizon Zero Dawn coming out, and we've got Kong Skull Island coming out very soon, and a new trailer has just dropped.
With Tom Hiddleston!
Oh, Tom Hiddleston. A trailer for that has just dropped today. It was the final launch trailer, and it's amazing. It's such a good trailer, and the film looks great. It looks perfect for me, kind of, big monkey fighting with giant dinosaurs and people getting in the middle and things.
He's an ape.
Well, okay, yeah, giant ape. That is correct. Good correction.
Sorry.
But it looks so cool. It looks like a lot of fun. It's got a really good cast. So there's that to look forward to. But the segue into robots is obviously because Horizon Zero Dawn is robot dinosaurs, is because I'm playing Titanfall 2 at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Which I picked up a little while ago. I've been meaning to play it for a while. I'm sort of trying to clear through a backlog of games at the moment. And I'm quickly, because Titanfall 2's only got quite a short campaign, I was trying to get it done before Horizon comes out. And I think I'm nearly there. And it's so good. It's so good. It's such a good game. Brilliant. Have you guys played it? Have you played Titanfall 2?
Yep, it was one of my favourite games last year.
Yeah.
I sat down to play like an hour of the campaign thinking, I'll do an hour of this and then I can jump into the multiplayer and play with my friends. Yeah. Getting ready for Extra Life was the idea, in preparation. I sat down, I think it was like 9 o'clock in the evening, and I didn't stop playing till about 4 a.m. And then I went to bed for a couple of hours, got up and went, right, I got to finish that campaign.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I'm relatively near the end now, I think, based on the progression of things I've picked up for my Titan. In the big fight scene, war type bit.
Yeah, you're
with all the Titans.
You're close to the end.
Well, I played it pretty much non-stop over the weekend because I want to get it done before Horizon, so I've only got like a couple of days. So, but it's so clever. The level design is so good. Like I don't want to go into too much details because of spoilers, even though it's been out for a while, but there's some really clever design stuff they do with time travel in one particular section of the game, which is so well done, and it's so much fun to play, and the controls feel really tight, and the shooting mechanics are great. And I played the first Titanfall a little bit when it was at EGX just before it came out. And I thought, yeah, this is good. This is a good multiplayer game. It's pretty solid. It's not really my thing. Like, I'm not really into your CODs and things like that. I'm not a big fan of that kind of game. But I thought, yeah, this is okay. And it kind of just passed me by a little bit. And then this one came out, and obviously everyone was raving about it. And yeah, it's amazing. I've not touched the multiplayer yet, do the campaign first, but it's so good. And yeah, you've got a giant robot buddy who's your pal, and it's really cool. And there's that bit where you fall off a building and he catches you, and it's like, yes, my robot friend.
BT is my friend. The annoying thing is because you go to play multiplayer after doing the single player, and there's always really cool robots, and they're all better than BT because BT's the starting out robot. But I can't do it. I need to play with BT. He's my bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
he's my robot.
It's like I would feel like I was cheating on him if I went with another robot, and that's no good. You can't cheat on BT. Infidelity is not a good thing. So yeah, he was like, "Where were you last night? You were not with me. You were with another robot, weren't you?" So, yeah.
One of the sort of key things about that game I really liked was there's a very small speech selection thing, kind of a little bit Mass Effect-y.
Yeah, it's called Dialogue Wheel.
Yeah, Dialogue Wheel, thank you. I was trying to remember the words.
It's more like a dialogue arrow up and down on this one.
Yeah, you pick like one of 2 or 3 selections, and judged on your responses, depending how you pick, you can be quite sarky, or you could be quite serious, or you could be quite angry. And BT will start picking up on that and mimicking your personality. So I was really sarky with him, and he's really sarky back. by the end of it, he's Captain Sassy Pants, and I absolutely love him.
Oh, I've been really nice to him because I love him. So I've been like, oh yeah, BT, you're my friend, all the time, you know, sort of thing. So, and I'd never shout at him. It'd be like shouting at a puppy. How could you do that? It'd just be evil. So, yeah, no. So, but that's kind of, it's just got me thinking about cool, big, giant things at the moment, because obviously we've had big robots and we're going to have big robot dinosaurs, and then there's big dinosaurs and big giant apes. So it's yeah, lots of fun things for me at the moment.
How do you feel about the whole, because there's new Kong coming and we've had new Godzilla, and they're both in line from the same studio. They've already admitted that there's a Kong vs Godzilla that's going to happen.
Yes, I'm on board.
You're okay with those two current incarnations of, yeah, okay, good.
I liked the recent Hollywood Godzilla. I thought it was pretty well done. The director, Gareth Edwards, he understands Godzilla. Like the previous Hollywood film does not bear talking about because it's just a nonsense and it has nothing to do with Godzilla whatsoever. But
Matthew Broderick?
No. No. But the more recent Godzilla, that is Godzilla. He behaves as Godzilla does, and it's just, I actually thought it was pretty decent, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. I mean, I'm currently, it's funny I'm talking about this right now. I have a giant Godzilla sat on my desk in front of me right now that a friend gave to me. I love everything Godzilla. It's just, he's so cool. And there's just been a recent new Japanese Godzilla film, I think, called Shin Godzilla.
Yes.
Which is apparently pretty good as well. So it appears like things are good for the giant lizard dinosaur nuclear thing.
Have you watched Godzilla Wars? I can't remember. Were they aliens come down but aliens that look like Japanese people, funnily enough. Aliens come down and just like strategically plant monsters all over the world in like their major cities.
Nice.
And in Sydney they plant Zilla, which is the 2000s American Godzilla.
Oh yeah,
and whereas all the other monsters are wearing suits and stuff, they're all dudes in rubber suits. This is the only monster that's entirely CG, and Godzilla just knocks him out. I was going to say, throws him onto the Sydney Opera House and then blasts him with the atomic breath. It's like,
I have seen that. That was a good moment.
Oh, I love that film.
Wreck that pretend Godzilla.
Yes.
But yeah, there's also, speaking of Godzilla and robots and giant robots, it reminds me of Pacific Rim, which of course is another awesome, awesome film. And I think Pacific Rim 2 is a thing.
It is, with John Boyega's in it.
Yeah, even though it's not going to be Del Toro involved, I still think that's, worth keeping an eye on.
I'm really sorry, but I just cannot get along with Pacific Rim. I understand all the reasons why people like it, but its cheesiness run over everything for me.
Did you watch it at home or in the cinema?
At home.
That's your problem.
I watched it at home.
Oh no, I went to see it in the cinema. We spurged on the 3D because my friend Neil phones me up and he's like, "Have you heard about Pacific Rim?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this. He's like, it's out today. Should we go watch it?" It's like, totally. Can we go see it in 3D? It's like, yeah, let's do it. This is the only film we need to see in 3D. And we both came out of this thing just absolutely like children. It's a movie where monsters fight robots, and the robots are voiced by GLaDOS, and it's
ace. Yeah,
it's so cheesy. It's the movie I would have written if I was a 12-year-old with a budget.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I didn't see it at the cinema. I only saw it on Blu-ray afterwards. And to be fair, it's just, again, it's another film as if it was made specifically for me.
Yeah.
Because I love anything like that with giant things fighting each other, especially if some of them are kaiju or dinosaur related things, then I'm 100% on board. Even some of the sort of sci-fi special movies that are really pretty ropey, I still love them all because they're just full of dodgy CGI dinosaurs. So yeah, good times ahead.
I really want to do the new Kong ride.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
All the things.
Moving on.
Yes.
Yeah. So from robots and dinosaurs to the good dinosaur, that sounds like The Good Wife and The Good Fight, which are two things that Alex is going to talk about.
And this is the segment where Coleman slowly goes to sleep for the next 10 minutes or so.
That's right.
And Joe maybe stays awake. Maybe.
Possibly.
I know what The Good Wife is, because that's the one with the woman who plays Phoenix. What's The Good Fight?
The woman that plays Phoenix?
Wasn't she
No, it's what
am I thinking of?
She was it's Juliana Margulies from ER.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different thing. In that case, then, I have no idea what the good wife or the good fight is.
Okay, so, as I mentioned in the last episode, I have been binge-watching The Good Wife. Last episode, it was 4 seasons in. Well, I'm happy to announce that 7 seasons later, I finished the show again. It may seem like all I do is watch TV shows, which is kind of true, but I watch them while I do a lot of uni work, which sometimes takes me from about 10 a.m. to about 3 a.m., so a lot of episodes of shows can fit in that timeline.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I do a similar thing, like whenever I'm just doing things around the house or just pottering about doing jobs, I like to have a show on. You know, it's just, good to have something on while you're doing stuff.
So, The Good Wife, a little recap, it's kind of like an old show. I mean, it's been going on for 7 years, and I think probably since 2010. So by all the standards, it's a pretty oldie show, but it stars Juliana Margulies in the title role. It also has Chris Noth and Josh Charles and Christine Barbansky, who is absolutely fantastic. I love Christine Barbansky.
Who doesn't?
Well, you don't. You don't even know who I'm talking about.
Christine Barbansky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know who she is.
I just told you. Don't you go copy my style, girl.
Name one other role she's in any...
She's in...
Uh-huh. No. And he's sneakily looking at Google while it's happening.
She's in the Christine Barbansky Happy Hour.
Whatever.
It was big in Warsaw. Alright, I'll go away now.
I have no words. But the whole show is set in Chicago, and it starts with Juliana Margulies as Alicia Florrick. She is a wife of the state's attorney who is involved in a bunch of sexual/corrupt scandals, and as he resigns, she finds herself trying to find a job after 13 years of doing nothing but being a mother, and starting back her law career from scratch, which is really hard for her because the gap in the law is quite big, and no one really wants to hire her because she didn't have 13 years of experience in the law, moves fast, but she manages to get hired by Lockhart and Stern, Lockhart and Gardner at that point, which is a firm where Will Gardner, one of her old school friends, is the named partner in, so he hires her for old time's sake, and there used to be romance between in the school days and so on and so on. So obviously setting up this kind of triangle between Alicia and her husband, played by Chris North, and this old/new love interest by Will Gardner. But anyway, the thing is that people, and this is really annoys me about the show, because people always make it out to be, it is one of those want they romance situation, it's all about their relationship and sexual desires and agendas, where in fact, it's a really great political show. It's why people watch House of Cards. I think they should just watch The Good Wife as well, because it is just as political, it is just as on point, and the only trouble with that show is that it's fronted by a woman, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Because everyone just assumes it's about her and her trying to get involved with this 2 other men and her dealing with her husband, which it is part of it, but it is so not about that in a large scale of things.
I watch House of Cards, but I've only recently started watching that, and it's because it turned me off because of the whole political aspect. I've only just started watching it because it's, I think Lauren's dad was watching it, and I was like, it's pretty good actually, I'm going to start watching this. So yeah, it's not because she's a woman that's pulling me off, it's the political aspect of the whole thing.
Well, the thing about that I really enjoyed is that I watched quite a few of those lawyer/political shows, and the thing with the House of Cards, at some point it just became too muddled, and I just started losing track of the plot points. And I think the same thing happened to me with Suits, which is another lawyery/less political show, but it was the one where you stop understanding what their cases are about. So obviously Suits, it is basically an eye candy for women because it's fronted by 2 hot guys who are always fighting against each other and going, you betrayed me, no, you betrayed me, this person betrayed me, and this week the other person betrayed me. Anyway, that show annoys me. But the point is that if you look just at their cases by cases, which are basically like your typical procedures, one episode you have one case to solve, it gets solved by the end of the episode, is that in Suits at some point you stopped understanding what the hell is going on because the stakes are so high and it's about some shares and buying some kind of company, and it's like, what are you talking about? And I can't really follow this. Where in Good Wife, I find it really well because they didn't dumb it down for audience, but they always choose to talk to things about that you could immediately grasp. Like, one of my favorite things is that they had episodes about NSA. So NSA, for some various point starts listening to one of their firms, and then they figure out, because at some point Alicia's husband becomes the governor, so they start listening to the governor of Illinois' office. It becomes like kind of really meddled, and they figure out the NSA is looking after them. And then they have kind of a Snowden situation where they commented on that while that was happening, and they have the guy who basically gave out some of the secrets and ran away to Iceland. And now some of my favorite episodes were where they were in military court and they were dealing with military situations. For example, a military woman getting assaulted by a guy who was not in the military, but he was like a hired corporation that supported the American military, so they weren't part of the military technically, but obeyed the military laws. And that was kind of the situation where it's like, okay, so how'd you get him to the court and how'd you solve that? And there was another really interesting episode with drone basically firing and killing a bunch of civilians, and the whole procedure of how they actually go through assessing the risk, and that they have a computer program that calculates their position to the civilians, the proximity to, say, like a mosque, and calculates whether it's worth to make that drone attack, and if the casualties are worth the risk by taking out this person who they think is really bad. So I thought this is really, really interesting show, and, you know, they did the whole Black Lives Matter as well, the episodes. That was kind of on point, and it was political in that sense. So I really, really enjoyed it. I love The Good Wife. And The Good Fight is a very unimaginatively...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Named sequel or / spin-off from the show, which also stars Christine Barbansky. She's returning. It has, oh my god, I have blanked out on her name.
Jeff Bridges.
No.
Jeff Bridges.
Damn it. One of these days, the answer will be Jeff Bridges.
One of these days. No.
The answer is always Jeff Bridges.
I will be the one there to say it.
No.
Did you want to look it up and then edit it in seamlessly?
Yeah, that's what will happen.
Okay.
I didn't edit it out. What? No, that's not The Good Fight I'm looking for. Damn it!
Fight the good
Damn
fight,
you,
Alex.
MTV. Okay, oh, there we go. That's why. For some reason, Leslie Jones was stuck in my head, and I was like, that's not Leslie Jones who's in there. It's Rose Leslie.
Oh, Rose Leslie. Yeah, she's great.
I think you should have just stuck with Leslie Jones and it would have been really funny.
Oh, I wish. And then Kosh Jumbo as well. So there's 3 front-running ladies who are back in the show.
Right.
And so, yeah, so that's a spin-off that's basically Joella Margulies is out. Her story, 7-season story has ended. And the other 3 ladies with Christine Barbansky and some of the characters returning are beginning a new show, which is in many sense similar to Good Wife, because Christine Barbansky's character, Diane Lockhart, basically loses all her money in some pansy scheme and has to start brand new.
Did you say pansy scheme?
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds really fun. That sounds a lot more fun than a Ponzi scheme. Yeah.
Yay! There you go.
I like the sound of a pansy scheme. Like, is it about the flowers? Like, ooh, nefarious pansies.
Would have been much nicer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Would it be much less scary scheme with probably less I can't speak today. Drastic outcomes is what I was meant to say. But yeah, I'm watching that at the moment. It has a very Good Wife feel, so I'm loving it because I've always loved Good Wife. I remember, I think one year, I loved the new season of Good Wife more than I loved the season of Game of Thrones, which was coming out the same year. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm watching that.
This is how good I think that show is. Anyway, they have 2 episodes out already. They are not on the CBS, but they're in like a CBS streaming service. So they are now finally allowed to be more sweary, which is exciting because CBS, you know, those cable shows always have to tune themselves down or whatever and keep themselves in check with their swears and whatnot. And yeah, I'm loving it. And yeah, Coleman, you can wake up now.
Good. In a moment that you probably have to edit out, I had to turn my mic down because I dropped it.
Oh, whoops!
My whole cradle just came out of the ceiling. So I was trying to attach it back on.
Oh my god.
So that's the thing off mic that happened. So The Good Wife and The Good Fight. So is The Good Fight like is that like the Boston Legal to private, was it Private Practice? No one knows, I'm too old. Never mind.
See, I know the Private Practice TV show, but that was spin-off of the Grey's Anatomy.
The Practice, not Private Practice, that's it.
The Practice.
Yeah.
There's so many legal shows, I mean...
Well, there was The Practice, and it was a serious as serious as kind of like NYPD kind of thing.
LA Law.
Yeah, one of those kind of shows. And then they introduced this new character called Alan Shaw in the last season, and he was James Spader.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, like, he does something to take the entire practice down, essentially. And then in the last episode, William Shatner comes in. He's like, hey, I'm over in this firm. It's very prestigious. Come and join us. And then that starts Boston Legal, which they thought was going to be a black comedy. And then it suddenly turned into, this is Ned Kelly, I think the guy's name is. He made Ally McBeal. And he just basically makes another Ally McBeal out of it.
But with William Shatner.
But with William Shatner, a lot of the guest stars are all Star Trek characters as well. Like 7 and 9, that woman's in it. The guy who plays Neelix is in it. Like,
oh my,
it's really weird. But yeah, that's a good show. You should watch that. Boston Legal. The practice, not so much. That was a bit boring.
No, I think what they're doing, basically, the whole reason, oh my god, I'm turning into Tim.
Basically,
the listener who's been saying this is completely right. But what they're doing with The Good Fight, I think they're doing exactly the same show, pretty much. But all their episodes were sort of a comment on the current American political issues. So a lot of their best episodes were the comment on, this is the new crazy thing that happened a couple of months ago. This is our take on that situation. And The Good Fight is pretty much going to be that. So they're going to have the main characters whose storylines evolve and things happen to them. But a lot of their shows, okay, now we're going to comment on Trump doing something stupid. Like, that's the opening episode.
That's going to be every episode, sure.
Yeah. They're not going to run out of material.
No, exactly. And the opening scene was, the Trump's inauguration and Diane Lockhart, who is like a diehard Democrat, just switching off the TV show, the TV, and walking away because she was like, "No, this is not happening." So yeah, that's what they're gonna do, and I mean, for my money, I'll have it all.
Good, very, very good. Do we have time for my one?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so I've been playing a game called Dimension Drive, and I'll talk about it on here because I probably won't get time to do it on BRB UK.
Because basically, totally, absolutely, kind of.
No, because I've got a big list of preview games I have to get through, and this one's kind of fallen by the wayside for 2 weeks. So now I have to. I was going to scrap it, but you guys get it instead.
Wait, we basically get your BRB UK leftovers?
Yeah, you get my sloppy seconds.
Lauren, take him back.
What? Anyway, so this, you might have heard of this game, but not because it's a game you particularly care about. Also, it was kind of hit with tragedy a year or two ago. So this was a Kickstarter-backed campaign for the game called Dimension Drive. And towards its kind of twilight hours, towards the end of its campaign, someone had put in this huge bid on the game and put in something like $2,000.
Oh, I remember that. And then they took it away, didn't they?
Yeah, and then in the last hour before their deadline, so they were like, yeah, celebrating, like thinking, this is great. We've completely funded. We can make our game. And then an hour before the deadline was up, they cancelled their bid.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, all of a sudden, they don't hit their Kickstarter target. So if you don't know about Kickstarter, yeah, there are sites that allow you to raise funding and aim for a target, but if you don't hit that target, you keep it. In Kickstarter, if you don't hit that target, you don't get the money.
Yeah, you don't get any of it.
So everyone gets their money. Yeah, it's a gamble. And so on this side, they went, oh, this happened. And it became a blessing in disguise because Kotaku, IGN, Eurogamer, like even us, like everyone picked it up and went, this is shocking behavior, this is terrible. And then because that happened, they started a new campaign and went, oh, featured on Kotaku, IGN, Eurogamer. And then of course those people also wrote about them and went, those guys that got screwed over, they're now, they're back in, go support them. And that's exactly what I did. They've now gone out to early access. They've released a demo of their game a while ago, which I had to go on. And then now the game's in early access. They sent me a code like a couple of weeks early before it went out to public early access. And now they're working on the game proper, is my understanding. I went for this mainly because of the Stob story, but also because it's a shmup that reminds me of the shoot 'em ups of the 90s that I used to play with my dad. And the whole point of it, it's like a split screen, but it's one player. There are multiplayer modes, but in this main mode, you've got a split screen and you've got enemies coming down both sides, power-ups on both sides, bosses on both sides. And the whole idea is you're meant to teleport between each side. So it's 2 different dimensions that your ship can travel in between.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so you might come up to a point where there's like a wall in front of you that you can't penetrate, you can't get past at all. So you switch to the other dimension and then you carry on there, but there'll be more enemies and you have to shoot them instead of crash into a wall on the other side. Then there might be a side with lots of enemies, but there's a power-up that you really need, so you warp onto that side. And the whole game is really, really hard, as most shoot-em-ups are. So I'm really enjoying this at the moment. It's available on Steam. I can't really go much into it because it's in a preview state at the moment, even though pay money if you want to play it, actually. But it's interesting. It reminded me of a different game that came to PlayStation, I think it came to 4, I'm not sure if it came to 3, and Vita, called Velocity.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say it.
Yeah.
Velocity and Velocity 2X.
That's it.
Yeah, it was Vita first, and then PS4 and Vita. I don't think it went to PS3 at all.
Right, okay. But in Velocity, that whole thing is it's got a similar mechanic, but they've also got a side-scrolling kind of Metroidvania style shooting element to it, run and gun element. Yeah, I find it a lot like that, a lot harder than that as well. But it's very enjoyable. If you have the chance, then go try Dimension Drive.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I really liked Velocity 2X and all that, so could be good.
Yes. I'm not a big, really hard game fan, but it's anything that kind of harkens back to the 90s playing the Amiga with my old man, then I'll go for it just because I'll play this and go, one day my dad's going to come up and visit me and I'm going to go, look at all these cool games we can play together. So, yeah, that's a thing. That's all we got on the agenda, I believe.
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
Right. How does this work? Do I have to hype things up or do we do the shout-outs first?
That's a good question. Lauren? And Lauren from the future shouts at us.
Let's do the shout-out first, because I think that's how it works. Okay, so before we go, we're going to say thank you to a few people. Alex, how about reading them people on them there forums?
Shout outs, thank yous to Richard Kirk, Stingle, and Unflushable.
And on Twitter, Joe?
So a shout out to Will Driver, who's asked us to talk about Overwatch news.
Ooh. We'll do this other one and then you can talk about Overwatch news.
Sure. And also a shout out to James Sterling Wilson, which is at James_S Wilson.
Who wanted us to talk about Oscars, but no.
we talked about it briefly at the beginning when we just...
Oh, can I give my opinion on the Oscars?
Yeah, sure.
Certainly.
I heard they did another event.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
They gave out awards.
Mind blown.
Don't tell too many people this because I don't know how privy this information is. I hear they're doing another one in 2018.
No.
Keep that under your hat. Don't go to Ladbrokes and start betting on that. Also, Richard Kirk on Facebook. Right, what's the Overwatch thing?
Okay, so PTR, which is Public Test Realm, is where they test all the new stuff, exciting stuffs, and the updates that they're gonna pass in Overwatch. The map updated, so the Numbani map has updated with basically some rubble and mayhem, and the Doomfist Gauntlet, I believe, has been stolen from the payload, which used to be like the payload used to carry kind of a case, and the Gauntlet wasn't there. And the Gauntlet is not there anymore. There are lots of broken walls and just general.
So that's like the Infinity Gauntlet type looking thing that's in the short that.
Yes.
Winston and oh god, I tried so hard. Winston and Tracer and Reaper and Black Widow.
Widowmaker.
They're all fighting.
You were close. That was close.
God damn it, I was close.
Yeah, so that's basically a museum part where the two kids are going around, and then Winston and Tracer get in a fight with Widowmaker and Reaper, and the Gauntlet is there. But yeah, so it seems that they might be adding a Doomfist, which is one of the supposed future characters, or they've revealed lately something about Effie Oladette, which is like 11-year-old girl genius or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think the general speculation at this point is that she won't actually be the playable character, but one of her creations, maybe. But who knows, to be honest. I mean, this is what Blizzard are good at, isn't it? Kind of ramping us all up with potential new characters.
Hey guys, Alex here for 1 second. So since we recorded our last episode, Blizzard actually announced a new character called Orisa, who is a tank character. So I thought I'll add this to this episode so it's a bit more in line with what we're talking about. So Orisa is a tank and she has a quite variety of exciting abilities that actually sound and look like a lot of the abilities that other characters have. So she has a protective barrier, so she throws a barrier in front of her, which has, I believe, 900 health. So something in line with Reinhardt's shield. She also has Halt, which is like a graviton charge orb that pulls your enemies together. So again, quite similar to Zarya's ultimate graviton surge. And then she has a supercharge, which acts as Mercy's buff blue ability, and you put it, and I think it stays alive for about 20 or something seconds, and charges all your allies in the line of sight. And then she has also an ability that sounds incredibly powerful called Fortify, which temporarily reduces Orisa's damage. For that time also, Orisa can't be affected by action impairing effects. So she, for example, wouldn't be affected by Sombra's ultimate or Reinhardt's hammer down or anything like that. She sounds really awesome. As we alluded to in our section, Orisa is an Effie's creation. Effie took some of her parts from the short-lived OR-15 defense robots that were used in Nabani as protective robots and were inspired by OR-14 robots from the Omni Crisis. But again, this is lore details. I'll leave the notes in the description if anyone's interested to read more about her playstyle and her story. You can find this in the notes below. So yeah, that's all I wanted to add. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the episode. And I'll go now. That Sombra ramp up just got...
That took too long.
That went on too long. I feel like with this one, they may have learned a lesson from Sombra, and they may this one may happen slightly quicker.
We'll put it this way. I don't follow the Overwatch news, and I don't play Overwatch, but even I got sick of the Sombra build-up.
Yeah, it went on for a long time. Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued. Yeah. I'm ready for some new characters, I think.
I mean, more reasons to get back into Overwatch, says a person who's played Overwatch pretty much every single day since it came out.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of an Overwatch break for the past sort of couple of weeks because I've been wanting to play other things. But yeah, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to come back, you know. She's always there waiting for you to come back.
What I find suddenly strangely works for me is that whenever I get annoyed by the game and think, right, now I'm done, then suddenly I become really obsessed with playing some particular characters and learning how to play them well. So currently I'm trying to get better at Anna and Roadhog, and I don't know why that happens. I just want to play them all the time. I had no desire to play them a couple of months ago, and now I'm like obsessed at getting good at them.
I had a similar thing when, you remember, I would only ever play Mercy, and then I started playing a bit of Zenyatta, and then I started playing a bit of Lucio, and then I started playing a bit of Diva.
And then a lot of Diva.
And then a lot of Diva. And now I play quite a bit of Tracer. And I might start, sort of spreading my wings into other characters as well. So whereas originally I was like, heals only, I'm Mercy, and that's it. And I literally didn't know how to play any of the other characters. Now I kind of have spread my wings a bit and, having a bit more fun with some of the more offensive characters. But yeah, I mean, that's Overwatch, isn't it? You can go away from it for a little bit, then come back to it, and it's still there, and it's still great, and it's still good fun. Yeah. I mean, it's not perfect. I think there's still problems with matchmaking sometimes.
Oh, good God, yes.
Yeah, but, right now, there aren't that many other games like that where we can all get together as friends and play online, and it's just great, good fun.
Yeah, and I think they've had nice space in between when when they bring new things back again, between the map. Not that I love the new map, but between the new map, then a new event, which is silly because they got just some different costumes and some, emotes, but it still gets us back in.
You need the costumes. You need those Mercy skins.
Oh, and then they bring out a new character, and it's like, I'm out. No, I'm back in.
Yeah,
I'm out now.
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm back in.
It's like you think you get out, but it sucks you back in.
I know.
It always gets you back.
Instead of Doomfist coming in, can we have the little kid that takes the Doomfist gauntlet? That would be pretty cool. I will try the game again if that happens. Yeah, his ultimate is he breaks it, and then Tracer comes over and goes, "Don't worry, love. Cavalry's it. The world needs more superheroes." Whatever she says.
That was uncanny. It's like she's in the room.
Yeah, I did. I don't like to talk about it too much, but I actually did the voice acting for Tracer in a fanfic porno.
And the mystery of Coleman unfolds.
Cavalry's here. Anyway, so that was all the shout outs and your Overwatch news. You can always come back to Overwatch. with its warm and tight embrace, comforting like a fart in a sleeping bag. Anyway.
And
Good.
now we're bringing back the bowels.
If you've enjoyed the show, there are many more like it, other podcasts on BigRedBarel.com, along with loads of cool articles and videos. Videos like Cookies and Booze.
Yay, where me and Julia get drunk and then play video games badly.
Mm.
And do embarrassing things we regret later, but too late, they're on camera.
And hide in lockers from aliens.
Or the Big Red Rambles that everyone's meant to do, but I seem to have taken over it with Ruben. Mostly me.
Yeah, but they're good. You put way too much effort into them.
Yeah.
As I, who am lazy at editing, so I look with them with green envy.
I do put a lot of time in them. And Strange Play, Rick's Strange Plays are now appearing on the site as well. They are strange, and he
Yay!
plays stuff, him and his mate. They're doing Final Fantasy VII now as well, which is like one of my favourite games of all time. So
I know they did The Last Guardian.
they did. They played it, so you don't have to.
It was funny because Tim rented that game and it arrived and I opened the packaging so that there was Last Guardian, had a laugh to myself. Then it was lying on the table for quite some time and I was like, you ever gonna play it? And he's like, I better send it back, right?
I'm the same. I've got my PlayStation next to me that I use for capture. I've got Resident Evil 7 in there, but it's been in there for 3 weeks.
Oh, that's a good game, though.
I've either been busy or ill and not been able to play it at the moment. So
Yeah, you need to get on that. That's a top game.
Anyway.
Horizon is gonna come and then there's nothing
Yeah.
you're gonna play.
Yeah.
Horizon's going to ruin everything. Our lives will be over.
I can't get that day one at the moment, so I have to wait for that. But anyway, I'll play that down the road. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to everyone spoiling it for me, because that's going to happen.
Well, my life will be over in about a month, so...
As well as BigRedBarel.com, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/BigRedBarel, and on Twitter, at BigRedBarel on Twitter, if you so please. You can also find me on Twitter, at DammitColeman. You can find Alex on Twitter, at DustyTulip_, and Joe is Pixel...
Ritual.
Pixel Ritual. Top of my head. Good that. Half of it anyway.
Nice.
And also, we have Tabletop Tuesday nights at Loading Bar Scenario in Dalston, London, every Tuesday. And that's where you can go play board games with loads of cool people. And each week we have a featured board game that you can play. And if you do play that board game, you get entered into a prize draw, and you could take the game home with you at the end of the night. This week we have, Alex?
The 7th of March, which is when this is relevant for the podcasting things.
So we'll say this week.
Yes. Well, that gets confusing in my brain.
Well, don't worry. It's in the future. We're in the future. Just pretend.
What's the future?
It's Monday.
Right. It is Monday, but it's not that Monday.
It's Monday the 6th.
It's a Monday.
God, help me.
Come on, Alex. It's Monday the 6th today.
Okay, it's
Tomorrow's
Monday the 6th.
Tabletop Tuesday. What's the featured game?
It's Realm of Wonders. It looks adorable. I've not played this game, but it has like trolls and other cute animals and goblins and stuff like that, and has adorable minis and map, and it just looks gorgeous. And I lifted up the box, and it's really heavy, so it probably has a lot of nice stuff in it. So it's a really good prize as far as I'm concerned, because I'd like to keep it, even though I haven't played it. It looks that good. So yeah, come and play that, and maybe you can win that.
I was like, that was a sock game. When I heard you guys were playing the sock game, I was like, I mean,
Yeah.
I want to go and play it, but I have no chance of winning it, and that's the only reason I want to go play.
I thought it was silly.
Yeah, that's why I
Like,
want
good
it.
silly.
I like games that I can understand. That's why I play Ticket to Ride every time.
God, you're like my mom.
Yeah, Exploding Kittens and Ticket to Ride. That's all I can do. And Gin Rummy. Let's play Gin Rummy next time.
Gin Rummy.
Let's do that. Or Happy Families. I can play that. I'm pretty good at that. I'll kick your ass at Happy Families.
God, the
Anyway.
next thing is gonna say you like Monopoly, and then I don't speak to you ever again.
No. Monopoly is
Monopoly
evil.
is the reason my parents got divorced, so there you go. The scars run deep.
I think probably many families have split up due to Monopoly. I don't think your parents are alone there.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Tabletop Tuesday. Dalston, London, Loading Bar. I've mixed those up. I rearranged them in the sentence you want. Anyway. And also, if you want to go check out what it looks like before going, we have Tabletop Tuesday on Instagram, where you can check out all the photos and see the winners. See, there is proof that people play the games and win the games and take them home, because we take photographs of them.
And then we take the games away from them and then never give them back.
No, that doesn't happen. Conspiracies, collusion, Illuminati. It doesn't happen. I think that's everything. Did I do everything?
I think so.
Excellent.
I think you did all the things.
Good.
You kind of did them, but in the backwards order, so now it's very confusing.
That's fine. It's fine. Cool. So this has been episode 79. I almost said the Big Red Barrel episode. Okay. I nearly went, this is episode 200 and no. This has been episode 79 of Big Red Barrel's Geek Speak podcast for this week. I assume Lauren will be back next week. If she's not, probably find someone better than me. Find Dan. Dan will do it. Yeah? Cool.
Ahoy hoy!
So for this week, I have been Coleman.
I have been Butts.
I have been thinking far too much about Godzilla.
Godzilla and Godzuki.
No.
Okay, cool.
And we bid you goodbye.
And we bid you goodbye. Bye.
Ta-ta! Bye!
Butts.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarel.com.
Sorry, do it again.
Butts?
Yeah, do another one.
Thanks. I did butts on my stream.
More butts.
It's recorded.
Do a butts again.
I see the
Say
little
butts.
butt bleep.
Alex, say
Butts,
butts.
what do you want?
Well, no, because now I've got like 4 of them out of you, so I can put them on my soundboard.
Nice. Nice.
The Big Red Barrel soundboard of Alex and Tim. It's basically in butts.
Butts, 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 butts. It's, you know that song, what's it called? The Butcher, 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 Butcher.
Butcher,
and that-
butcher,
Oh,
butcher,
yeah.
butcher, mushroom,
butts,
mushroom.
Butts, butts, mushroom, mushroom.
It's butts, 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 butts,
Yeah,
butts,
I have
butts,
problems.
butts,
Someone actually edited
basically.
together like a 10-hour mix of that. I mean, wow. Some
Hey.
people have got too much time on their hands.
Some people have listened to it.
Hey, you have a video of your sex noises, so...
What?
Hey, I didn't make it. I didn't make that video. Oh God, I hate my friend. 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 Oh God, I hate my friend.